Hello everyone. Today I will be discussing about location planning and analysis. Facility location decisions are very important in operations management. The overall objective of the location planning is to generate a balance between geographical factors and socio-economic factors for attaining maximum benefit. One of the most important decisions a firm makes is good location planning, which helps the firms to increasingly become global in nature. It can have a significant impact on fixed as well as variable cost. These kind of decisions are strategic in nature and should be taken with long-term perspective, as these kind of decisions are made relatively infrequently, and if a wrong decision is made, then it will not be reversible. Location decisions are critical and may involve inputs from important functional areas of organizations like from marketing, HR, accounting, finance, as well as from operations. Now let us understand that how these departments get involved while making these kind of decisions. When locating new retail facilities, for example, marketing must carefully assess how the location will appeal to the customers and possibly open new avenues. When locating new retail facilities, HR must assess the availability and attitude of the workforce in that particular location. Finance department must assess about the economic environment of the state and monetary incentives that are offered. For example, when BMW located its manufacturing plant in Southern Carolina, the economic environment of the state and monetary incentives offered by its legislators played a role in the financial payoff associated with the proposed plant. Operations department must also assess if the identified location is able to meet current customer demand and provide the right amount of customer contact for both external as well as internal customers. Operations department must also see about the availability of raw materials, good suppliers and transportation facilities related to that particular region. There are also important dominant factors that need to be considered when locating manufacturing facilities as well as service facilities. Mainly, there are 6 dominant factors that need to be considered for manufacturing: favorable labor climate, proximity to the markets, proximity to the suppliers and resources, proximity to the parents' companies, facilities and utilities, taxes and real estate cost. When it comes to favorable labor climate, it is most important in location decisions. For labor-intensive firms, labor climate includes wage rates, training requirements, attitude towards work, workers' productivity as well as union strength. Talking about proximity to the markets, locating near the markets is particularly important when the final goods are heavy and outbound transportation rates are high. Manufacturers of products such as plastic pipes and heavy metals all emphasize proximity to the market. Good schools, recreational facilities, cultural events and attractive lifestyle also contributes to good quality of life. Coming to proximity to suppliers and resources, they are suitable for firms dependent on bulky, perishable or heavy raw materials. In many companies, plants supplies part to other facilities rely on the facilities for management and staff support. That is why proximity to the parents' company's facilities are also required. Utilities, taxes and real estate costs are also very important dominant factors. When it comes to dominant factors in services, some of the important factors include purchasing power of a customer drawing area, competition in the area, quality of the competition, physical qualities of facilities and neighboring businesses. Now talking about various location models, there are various models that are available which can be used for finding out about location decisions. Here we will be discussing few of them, namely weighted factor rating method, load distance method, center of gravity method, break-even analysis method and GIS method. Out of these methods we will be mainly discussing about weighted factor rating method and center of gravity method. We will now discuss about weighted factor rating method, which involves a series of following steps. Step number 1, identifying the important location factors. Step number 2, we have to rate each factor according to the relative importance, that is, higher rating is indicative of prominent factor. Step number 3, we have to assign each location according to the merits of location for each factor. Step number 4 would involve calculating the rating for each location by multiplying each factor assigned to each location with basic factors considered. Step number 5 involves finding the sum of product calculated for each factor and select best location having highest total score. We will understand all these 5 steps by the help of one simple example. So you could see here that in this particular table we have 3 columns. So column number 1 is related to the various factors related to location, column number 2 is related to weights, and column number 3 is related to scores. So for example, looking at this table, when we are talking about location factor for total patient miles per month, it is 25, the weight is given as 25, score is given as 4. Similarly, when we are talking about facility utilization, the weight assigned to facility utilization is 20 and the score assigned is 3. Similarly, we can write down weights and scores for each and every location factors. Let us assume that a new medical facility, Health Star, is to be located in New Delhi. The following table shows the location factors, weights, scores that we have already discussed. Scores are on the rating of 1 to 5. Now how we are going to calculate the weighted score? What we are going to do, we are going to multiply 25 and 4, then we are going to add this to 20 and 3, then we are again going to add this value to the product of 20 and 3, then this would be added to the product of 15 and 4, this would be added with the product of 10 and 1, and finally we are going to add the product of 10 and 5. So with this, when we are going to do all the calculations, the total weighted score would be 340. Now as we have obtained a total weighted score of 340, it can be compared with the total weighted score for other sites that are being evaluated. We would look at another example so as to understand this concept. So again, in this table, we can see that there are 2 or 3 different locations that have been given to us. Now what we are going to do, again we are going to take the product of those 2 values related to weight and the score. So we can see from here, once we are going to add all these values by multiplying the weights with the neighborhood ratings, then we can see that we have obtained different values which have been highlighted in this particular table. So this is how we calculate weighted factor rating method. The next method that we are going to discuss would be related to center of gravity method. So the various steps that are involved while doing calculations in center of gravity methods are described below. In this method, all demand points from where the raw materials are supplied are located in XY coordinate system. Subsequently, each demand will also have weights which indicates the quantum of demand per unit time. Subsequently, the center of gravity of various demand points are identified and locating the new facility at this point will be more appropriate. The advantage of this method is that it indicates the ideal location on the grid map that would ensure that the weighted distance traveled is minimized. In this example, we would see that we have 4 points and the XY position is shown along with the loads that would be transferred. So in this table you could see, so what we have done, this could be also understood graphically. Like for A, we have plotted 200 each corresponding to X and Y axis. Similarly, we can plot for all the 4 points like we have done for point A. Now we will proceed with the further calculation of center of gravity technique. We will multiply all coordinates with weights in the numerator, and in the denominator we will be adding all the weights. Similarly, we will be doing this for Y coordinates, and on solving this we will be getting the X and Y coordinates as 238 and 444. So we can locate our warehouse either at the plus sign or at point B. Advantage of this method is that all geographical area will be covered over here. So this is all for today. Thank you very much for watching this video.